I needed a product the other day. I saw something that came through on my phone, and then I couldn't find it anymore. So I just started begging my phone, like, "Hey, please, please,
Show me
please."
those mattress sheets again.
Yeah, it was something dumb. It was like a little cheese container for your fridge that like you can like push it out and like slice it, and then like also grate it.
Oh,
But it's just like all built into like one container.
and you just really needed that link again, so that you
I was trying to show Ian it at
Oh, like you shred it and it's in the container already. Like
it's
contained.
like a container, right? It's like a tub, and you put your like a block of cheese in
That's
it.
awesome. That's awesome.
And then you can like on the right side of it, it's got two different things. You can drop down a grater, or you can drop down a slicer, and then you can just like push it over,
yeah,
slice it, and then like, but it's all contained too.
that's
like,
great because I mean, I'll be honest, block cheese is superior to bag cheese, and part of that reason is because the bag cheese has this like slight coating over it. That's why like if you're trying to like make mac and cheese or like something that's requiring like a melted cheese, you're better off going like with a block and melting it because you don't have that phlegm, that like little filter over it that preserves those cheese slices. These are just things you learn on cooking videos.
Cook Club.
Cook Club. Have you been avoiding cursing to your phone as well?
Why?
Well, you said that you have been avoiding cursing in general around your new friend
Around Banana.
around Banana.
Well,
So maybe
I've been trying to watch
with
my
your phone.
tone.
Okay, your tone.
No, I don't
Have you been
care
trying to
about-
watch your tone with your phone?
No.
Okay,
But I haven't really been I only talk to my phone that one time.
you don't have a relationship with your phone.
No, I don't talk to it.
Okay.
I just that
No,
one time
Me neither.
I was like,
anyways, Corey, how you doing?
"Oh, I'm good."
You have any news?
Yeah, I got a son.
What do you mean by that?
Oh. Where is he? He's probably sleeping. Is he sleeping? Can you see him?
He's sleeping.
Can you see him?
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Okay.
He's slumped.
Okay. All right. You're gonna be my eyes. I was gonna say I fucked up. I was thinking
We should clarify too. Not a human son.
Yeah, I don't have a son. But I have a new dog. His name's Banana. He's a friendly guy. He might pop out later. Who knows?
Who knows? He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
Little chill boy.
He's giving me so much anxiety.
Just like a real child.
Oh my god.
I had a friend recently tell me, they said plants are the new cats, cats are the new dogs, and dogs the new children. So,
Why are cats the new dogs?
well, they're just like, back in the day, they were less responsibility. Children were less responsibility, or felt like it. Now it's like a bigger commitment.
Cats are still pretty chill.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, they're the new dogs. They're the new easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Dogs the new children.
What are children then? Just still children?
I don't know. They had a good one for children, but I forget what it is. It wasn't anything bad.
How you doing, Stevie?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Great weather this week. Really beautiful outside.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Big vibing. I've had something I was gonna say, but just doing good.
I'm gonna say I feel like there's so much that you're like, gotta save it for the pod. Gotta save it for the pod.
I know. Big expectations tonight for like an hour and a half from now. I do think there's gonna be a new Frank Ocean song.
Yeah.
I said it on Twitter and I'll say it now. I mostly tweeted it so I could retweet it later and be right. I'll delete that.
Stevie. How many times you gonna fall for the old smoke and mirrors? No, I'm just kidding.
I spent a whole summer every night thinking it was gonna drop, and then it dropped at the end of the summer.
And you just watch stairs get built?
Sometimes there was coughing, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, he's there."
It's not even. What if it wasn't even him coughing?
Well, it was the illusion that made it sound real. And then there's sometimes be little music that come in. You'd be like, "Oh my god, it's happening! A song's about to play," and then it would stop.
Damn, that's crazy. That's sick. That's insane. That's sick in the head. Why would he do that?
I have no idea.
That's sick.
Sometimes like a song would play, like kind of like a little bit of a demo of it.
He's like writing a song. He wrote Endless during that whole live stream, maybe.
Maybe. How you doing? Did I already ask that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm just
making sure.
Yeah, we just started talking about Banana.
You never want to have someone that gets through a whole pod without getting asked that, right?
I guess we haven't even had a pod release since the big one. This is 101, I guess.
I guess.
I fucked up. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry. We'll have a bonus episode come out. We missed a week, but you know what happens. Gotta get right for the new batch of episodes. I guess the hundreds.
The
We're in
hundreds.
the hundreds now.
TV Club feels like it might be slowing down though.
Yeah.
We gotta
Dude,
find new
movie
TV
club's
shows.
gonna slow down too.
What?
I mean, not movie club, but I mean, like, 'cause we'll always have movies. But I mean, movies for this year.
I disagree. I think it's about to turn up.
What? What after like Barbie?
What do you mean? Well, I mean, I'm thinking for the next few months, it's gonna be lit.
What after Barbie? We got Guardians, Barbie.
Guardians, Barbie, Reinfeld, right?
Yeah, Renfeld. That's like about to be out. That's like out tonight.
There's other ones. Oppenheimer.
That's this year.
That's this year. There's some. I'm forgetting.
There's not that many though.
Maybe not as many as years past. I'm
Yeah,
sure
the last 2 years.
I'm sure that just the promo just haven't started rolling out though. Like Oppenheimer's promo barely has even been rolling out.
Yeah,
that comes out in 3 months.
Yeah, I didn't even know Oppenheimer was coming out, but I'm not like super excited for that. But
I'm excited for it.
Florence Pugh's in it though, right?
That's why you got to be excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for anything Florence Pugh, but
Exactly.
I haven't seen a good person yet. I'm just saying we had like the start of the year has been a lot of movies already.
I mean, I think this is gearing up to be a great year of movies. Is I guess my point.
I just think
there's
the
still a lot to
first
come.
half is gonna be way strong. Like I think Barbie's July.
We gotta do our listeners service and look up.
Yeah, look up new releases this year. But I don't know. There's the Marvels is coming, but are you excited for the Marvels?
I just thought of one. I haven't even seen it. Didn't even watch the trailer.
I
I feel
haven't
so bad about that. I don't even hate Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel. I just hadn't watched the trailer. Not in like the
I like
annoying,
Miss Marvel,
angry.
and I loved them both.
One movie I already thought about that I'm gonna see for sure, and I don't know if it's gonna be good or not. Indiana Jones. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Mostly for Phoebe.
But that's probably before July too.
Little Mermaid, not
Paint.
really our vibe, but that's big.
Paint.
Although it's not getting good reviews.
It's not.
Like it has like a 23.
Oh,
Bo is Afraid.
yeah. But
Ari
when's
Aster.
that?
Ari Aster. That's this
When-
month.
When's it coming out though?
This month.
This month?
I think
That's what
at
I'm
least
saying.
limited. Asteroid City.
But remember,
Asteroid City.
when's that come out?
July.
That's what I'm saying though. But
This is how it goes every year. All the big blockbusters they get out in the summer, and then after the hype is dying down on those, then we get the real juicy ones. We get the
what's the juicy one?
I don't know. We get like the Banshees of Inisherin, the Fablemans, the late bloomers.
What's coming this year? That
I'm
looks interesting. After July.
Well, some people haven't even started promoing yet.
True.
Because some of them, what their whole promo release schedule goes on about like the Sundance and the why am I forgetting the France one?
Cans.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes that's their promo is like this movie just did insane there, and like that's where the buzz
When
starts.
are those every year?
This summer, early
Okay,
summer,
This summer.
and then after that, they start going on their
Yeah.
promo.
So
Obviously there's one that's coming up that'll be hyped, and I meant to talk about this, and this is one of the things I was saving to talk about, which is Fast 10.
May.
Yeah. But I don't think they promote the second
True.
half yet.
Yeah.
But the thing I was gonna say is apparently this guy had done the math and had added up how many times Vin Diesel appears sleeveless in the movies, and has determined that the more times he's sleeveless and the longer screen time that he's sleeveless in the movie, the better the movie does, both audience and critically success-wise. And in the trailer, it already showed him being sleeveless 3 times. He has a max of 4 times sleeveless, four sleeveless shirts, and he's already in 3 in the trailer. If he just pulls out one more, this could be the best Fast movie of all times, just based on that statistic alone.
Are you hyped for Fast 10? Like, actually?
I think so, yeah. Are you?
I don't know. The
I mean-
trailer, I remember, seeing Fast 9 trailer and being like, and I wasn't even a Fast fan. I didn't see, I'd seen, the first 2 at that point.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, yeah, let's fucking go. I don't know, but, this one, the trailer didn't, get me hyped for, dumb Fast and the Furious shit. There was no, space. You know what I mean? We had a space sequence in the last trailer where we were like, oh, we're going to fucking space. And, that was, what made the Fast 9 trailer,
All right,
And Fast 9, honestly, like just kind of like
hear me out. Hear me out. This is how Fast 10 is gonna get crazy, and it's gonna be a la Infinity War Endgame style. It's gonna reach the end of it, and Vin's gonna fail terribly. Like half the Fast members are arrested. Two of them's dead,
I like this.
and then all of a sudden, what's his name comes through a time portal, and is like, Vin, we gotta go back. We gotta reverse it all.
Paul Walker.
Yeah, and then Fast 10 Part 2
You think they're busting out?
is gonna be the time travel movie.
You think? You think they're busting out holographic Paul Walker for time travel?
They mentioned it. They mentioned that.
I know that holographic Paul Walker
And that's their last boundary to push. They pushed space. They made it to space. They lived. They got to time travel now
and set things right, and then
set things right.
and then stop the franchise from happening more or less.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the plot lines of the franchise.
Yep.
I'm here for it. I mean,
Vin, are you listeing? We still have time.
I think they're determined for what they're doing
we
already.
could throw a post-credit in.
Yeah, what if it's just a normal Fast movie and then like the post credit is Paul Walker holographic, like Vin. He calls him Vin too. Vin. We need to fix this. It's gotten out of hand.
And then the second part of the 10, it just gets meta, and it's about them fixing the whole Fast series movies. He leaves behind his whatever his character's name is, and he just becomes Vin.
They go back in time and it turns like She-Hulk, where they like go to the Fast writing room.
Exactly.
Oh man.
But I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the movies that I don't even know that I should be excited about.
Yeah. No, I mean you're right. I guess I just thinking like, normally like movies are like kind of like announced, you know what I mean? Like 2 years, like their release date for like 2 years. So it's like when the last time I looked at it, I'm like, yeah, there's probably like some sleepers in here, or some stuff that I don't even know what it is or what it's gonna be about, and it might just take over, you know what I mean? But there is, besides like everything in the first half, I'm like there was just like nothing really in the second half that that is like.
Dude, I wonder. Part of me, this is pure speculation, but I wonder if it's like a symptom of people moving away from Twitter in a way, because a lot of that kind of information I would get from Twitter, and just like random, like film accounts, and a lot of that I feel like has started to decline on Twitter, and also my time has declined on it, and like you don't really get that info from Instagram, as much like a random movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just an idea.
Yeah, or at least just like what people just kind of genuinely talking about a film and like, oh, this one's good.
Yeah. Or just being like, this person's cast in this movie, directed by this person.
Yeah.
Like that kind of news. Like I just don't see that as much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not on Twitter that much anymore, and I mean, I do see that when I'm on it, just from following discussing film. You know, it just seems like everybody in the world follows discussing film.
I think I need to start following it. I used to not, because like Twitter used to be like the algorithm would just like throw you in a bunch of stuff like that. But now the For You algorithm is so whack and thrown off that I just use the following tab, and like I don't follow a lot of those pages. They were just used to pop up in my timeline because, and then that's why I'm sad about Twitter's decline. But I've also kind of noticed it on like the internet shifting in different ways, like Instagram stories. Like, I feel like a lot of people, especially with, like, TikTok and Reels taking off, have become more passive internet users. And, like, just, like, get on it to look at Reels and TikToks, and are less interested in, like, posting, even if it's just, like, a nice little tree outside, a classic Stevie post, like a little sunset. Like, you just see a lot less of those on stories now. And, like, the stories are pretty much just shared posts and shared Reels.
Or it's, like, genuinely someone who is, like, trying to build something. Like, those are the people that are still posting regularly. You know what I mean? Like, whether it be an influencer, artist, restaurant, whatever. It's like you just see someone genuinely trying to gain a following, more or less.
Yeah. Those are, like, the active users. The people who are trying to make content for the people that are scrolling through the content.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I've seen a few people post like hashtag. They'll like make up like a Instagram post with multiple pictures, and they'll do hashtag like make Instagram casual again. And I'm like, it could be casual if everyone would just like post on it casually again. But right now, the only people posting are like what you're saying, like people who are trying to make content.
I know it feels weird. I'll jump back. I'll hop on Twitter one day and then I'll just be like, I'll start tweeting again. Like it's like 2014. Like I don't know, just like weird shit. And then I'll like do it and then I'll like sit on it for like an hour and then I'll be like, wait, it is kind of weird to like tweet. You know what I mean? And just like say shit that's like meaningless. You know what I mean?
That's how I felt about my Frank tweet today after I had it. Like I was like, why did I even tweet that? I mean, I tweeted it because I wanted to write, but even then I was like, people don't tweet like this anymore.
Yeah, it's so weird doing that. And then it's like even like, yeah, it's like Insta stories. I'll go 2 weeks without posting, and then one night I'll just be like, oh, I'm back posting Insta stories. Let me post some random ones. Let me just.
But yours are always like great ones because yours always feel like slice of life, like, you know what I mean, like very authentic and real. I like appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Yours are ones that I get excited to click on, but like sometimes I'll catch myself and I've noticed it happens faster when I'm looking through stories and I'm like, oh, I just know the rest of these are gonna be boring in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I like it though. You know, in a weird way, it is weird, but I hope that people are like, and maybe people aren't, but I just like the idea of people like focusing less on the internet, but it does make it harder to like, yeah, I mean like learn, you know, I don't know, even just like learning like casual talk about film, you know what I mean? It's like you don't, you know, that is like the, you know, the streets talking about it, or like, you know what I mean, or like the word of mouth, you know what I mean, is that stuff. So if we lose word of mouth that way, you know what I mean, like, I mean, there's still like just real life word of mouth, you know what I mean, but like, you know, I don't know, you know, especially like the older you get, it's like people at my job don't want to be talking about half the shit I want to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like everybody I'm surrounded with is like into this shit I'm in. You know, like, and even like friends of mine, it's like, you know, even like us, it's like, yeah, I may still be into like some shit. Like, I don't know, you know, it's like even people that you would think would be good, it's like,
I mean, like even us who run a movie club podcast are like right now sitting here being like, what movies are coming out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that's where I get a lot of my information, or have. I guess I get it from Reddit now a bunch, but
yeah, and I don't be on Reddit like that. I've had my little times with Reddit, but
I'm on Reddit like that.
It was only when Amir Vaughn popped up with a billboard. Out of nowhere, and then I was like, Reddit. I was like,
let's read
I was
the
like, let's
conspiracies.
fucking dig. Let's dig.
I love my little Reddit digging.
But it's only like it's to me. I'm like, it was really great for like the stuff that's like, oh, you can't find this info anywhere. Like no matter what you try. Like,
Yeah.
And I guess that's probably what most people use Reddit for. You know, they might have their own little.
I think I just get a little sad because it's like I wish Instagram was more of a way to feel connected to your friends. But it feels like you're just getting sold something by like every single person, like even me. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like it started, or for like a long time when we were first using it, it was that, and like I go back to it for that, and then I leave feeling a little bit emptier because of that. But on the bright side, it has made me become quicker of being like I'll be on it for a minute and I'll be like, I'm bored. Why am I on this? And I just like stop. So that's good. I don't get like suckered into like a hole like sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm quicker to be like, this is just terrible content.
Wonder if social media is starting to have more negative effects on like relationships than
probably.
You know, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But also, I think like it's pushing people to be in like group chats more and like go into Discords and like form communities in those ways.
I know, and that's great too. That's like super great in a lot of ways, and then also like kind of weird too. You know what I mean? Like
because then we start to like get pushed into our own little bubbles and niches and don't really interact with people outside of that.
Not even that. You know what I mean? But yes, you know. But also, I think in like a sense of like. Especially when it comes to like Discord and like a Twitter group chat. You know, like a group chat with text messaging is like a little bit more personal. You know what I mean? Like there's a little bit more of a connection there with people. You know what I mean? And you genuinely, I mean, there's probably just some all internet like text chats. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course, but like, it's probably generally more used personally with people that actually know each other. You know what I mean? The thing I think could be weird is like. I don't know. All right, even like I was on Discord heavy when Scarlet and Violet dropped.
Yep.
You know, I had it'll be like a whole like 2 weeks of like, oh, this is like we got 4 people, we're in a group chat, we're going hard, blah blah blah. Second, it like dissipates. It's just done. Like it's just done so quick. You know what I mean? It's so weird. So there's like a weird sense of like. hopping around. You know what I mean? Like, you got to keep finding stuff. You got to keep, like, and also it's just with the internet, it's people are behind a thing, so they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? That's just the internet. Everybody knows that. You know what I mean? So that happens, the same thing. Like, literally, Discord, it's like, it was so weird. But, like, I'm, like, trying to do Pokemon stuff, and I'll have someone, like, I'll be, like, trying to make some trades, and I'll be, like, someone will message me. They won't know a thing. You know what I would do? I would stop and do like 45 minutes with like a random person on Discord and like teaching them, be like, hey, blah blah. If I felt like they didn't know it, and I'm like, this is like real life shit. Like, nobody does this. I don't think
that's cool though. I like that. That feels like a genuine like. You made a connection, even if you don't know the person.
Yeah, but there was even like one person that like, I don't know. I saw they like I would talk to them individually, and then there was like a group chat, and like. And I remember having to message them and be like, hey, like, it's just like they're just having fun over there. You know what I mean? Like, don't take things personally. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just like, they're just a little ruthless in the group chat. Like, if you're going to come and you're going to say, like, hey, guys, I need this, and you don't really know what you're talking about, like, I didn't say all that.
They're going to come for you.
Yeah, it's like they're not going to, they're going to, make some jokes or whatever. They might laugh at you if you don't know what you're talking about. But, like, if you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll make it right. But it's just so, I just was noticing like some people like get even in like a full on like Discord where it's like sometimes like 50 people talking, it's like sometimes someone will just come in and be like, hey guys, I need some help with this, and everyone will be like, fuck off, go fucking read Google, like and then I would just go in there and I'd be like, hey, blah blah blah, like don't worry, like fuck all this, what I mean, like just hey, this is what you need to do.
That's
like,
classic internet stuff though. Just getting torn apart by a random forum or group chat.
Yeah, it's just a ruthless world on the internet. So it's like having those be your main connections.
Yeah, especially when there's like an anonymous vibe to it.
Yeah,
you're like a profile versus like you're like a gamer tag versus being like Stevie now on Instagram.
Yeah, Discord. Most people are anime, profiles.
Right.
So it's like or some sort of cartoon or Pokemon or video, whatever.
It's definitely interesting that it feels like the internet is moving in towards that way, in a lot of senses.
More anonymous, like.
Kinda. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least like it felt like for the longest time, at least for our generation, we were getting on it. It was all about like the profile and like.
Yeah, I remember
having your own profile and like,
it being you.
It's you. And, like, this is your feed, and, like, your feed's really important to maintain. But now it feels more like you, like, hop on different apps to, like, use them as a user versus having, like, a profile. I don't know. Like, you're going on Discord to chat, and then, like, you're hopping on, like, YouTube to browse, and, like, you're going on TikTok to scroll.
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how everyone does it, but I feel like, like, even, like, when you're just scrolling, like, because now that I, like, do watch more, like, I watch a lot of, like, reels, like I don't really watch TikTok yet. You know what I mean? I'm not on TikTok yet, but I like watch TikToks and reels, but I feel like it's like people will even be like kind of fans of stuff and never even really look into it. I got like plenty of stuff that just pops up on my, have you seen that dude that's like, hey Cheetah, and he's like he's singing, he's like apples falling from the tree, and then like he'll have like apples falling, and then he'll be like, he just sings this song about like, I want to make an apple pie, and then he'll be like, yo, what's up? And it'll be like this little puppet cheetah. He'll be like, here, you slice the apples, and then he'll be like, what do I do next? And he's doing like dope melodies. It's like a good beat. He's singing the melodies, and the cheetah's like rapping like how to cook shit. Just cooking videos. No, and this dude, and he's just like, hey, Cheetah.
It's funny because I feel like that I've had like these
kind
of conversations a ton with people, but not that specifically. But like what I was saying with that like old time honky cooking video guy, it's like the same thing. And like, I know this dude, and like I've clear branding imagery. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, have you heard of this guy? And someone would be like, nope.
But like,
it's interesting to have those like, but a lot of people have. You know what I mean?
But I feel like, and you might be actually like a fan of him. You might have like checked it out a little bit more. But I feel like I haven't checked out the Cheetah Dude's page.
That's fair.
At all.
That's fair. I mean, that's how I feel about. There's this guy named like Aki. Have you seen the Aki way?
Yeah.
Like that's how I feel. I've just seen his video a bunch, but I don't follow him. I also feel like that's how people treat music now too, in a way. And I noticed myself doing that too a bunch. Where like I'll find a song on TikTok and I'll like start listening to it on Spotify, but like I won't follow them on Instagram instantly. Maybe after a few songs.
You go follow Curfew, 3,000 followers. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of people on TikTok who have like 10 to 100,000 that only have like 800 to 3 or 4,000
Yeah.
Instagram. It's interesting, but like when they post on TikTok, it pops off.
And we've talked about it before, but that does kind of like really make me happier about music. The way it's tough and but like it's kind of dope to think that like, oh, you really don't have to be big anymore, and you can kind of get some shit popping. You know what I mean? And grant like like having like a couple songs with like 100,000 plays isn't what it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, especially just us being in it a long enough time to know that there's multiple ways that you could get those amount of streams, whether it be like directly purchasing the streams, or a lot of people what they do is buy like Google ads that route to their song, and if you just pump enough money into that, you'll just get enough impressions to get however many. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter as much.
Yeah. But it's nice to know that people can build off of smaller.
Yeah.
Now,
And people are okay to listen. Like, I mean, there's a lot of people who I've found on TikTok or who found me on TikTok that are just like, nice, I like this song, regardless of how many listens there are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's nice knowing that like your Instagram doesn't really matter. I don't know if that makes sense. It's fun sometimes to like post on TikTok and be like, this could really help my song out without worrying about like it helping your followers out.
Yeah.
Your following
or
out.
who you think is watching you.
Yes, that too. Because you could just post. That's the nice thing about posting, at least on TikTok, that I've learned, is that a lot of random people find your stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've liked a little bit. I just haven't gone back to it that much, but the little bit, I'm like, oh, this is kind of nice. Just like, even just trying to fucking do old shit. Post old shit.
It just makes it feel nicer in terms of like preparing releases and like putting out releases. That it's like a lot less pressure on like that Instagram build up, if that makes sense. But I mean, the cool thing is too, the internet is so weird and vast right now. Like, you just got to find your thing. Instagram works for some people. Some people it doesn't. Twitter works for some people.
Yeah.
Some people it doesn't. For some reason, though, people love to find stuff on or go from TikTok to other things. Like, easier than it has been to get Twitter. People will go from Twitter to something else. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, well, Twitter and Instagram later on have always been punishing. Like, they know when you're...
They really hate it when you're sending them to a different...
Yeah, they know. Like, like Twitter especially, like, it's like even hard to, like, comprehend of, like, I have to do this, but it's like posting something and then posting a link in it is, like, I'm pretty sure just, like, an ultimate no-no on Twitter platform, like,
especially now, right now,
yeah.
especially.
But I think it has been for a lot longer than we
time.
might realize, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I still can't, like, I just can't. It's just so hard for me to think, like, oh, how could I post this video and not post a link?
I feel that, too, especially on Twitter.
Yeah, like, even posting under it, it's like, I'll do that, but it still feels, like, hard, like.
Yeah. And on Instagram, it feels like, you can't even say, like, link in the bio.
Yeah, you can't say link in the bio. You can't say out now, I don't think. Like, like.
Because as soon as they think you're selling something, they, like, switch your stats up to try to get you to advertise. But I think, this is a speculation on my part, I think part of it with TikTok is that they use that information of where you go as part of their algorithm, so they don't mind it because it lets you know more about you as a user and as just like what your interests are.
Shout out Russia, man.
China.
Oh, China. Sorry, it's a Chinese company. Okay. Well, I mean, they're one and the same, right?
Oh. Speaking of geography, did you watch Abbott last week?
yeah, I did.
Did you see that transition? That was nice.
Yeah, it didn't hit me right away. I was about to be not like, I was about to be like, what do you mean geography? Did I miss something in this episode? Like,
no, I just was about it's a school subject.
Yeah. No, and then I was like, okay.
Did you see the one where Gregory got the award? Or no?
I watched it, and I say this about Abbott all the time. I really forget, but I really forgot this one because, like, I'm telling you, banana. This has racked, like, my brain does not work the same anymore now that
your world has shifted.
Yeah, my brain.
You have another mouth to feed. You have poop to pick up.
Like, there's just another heart beating over there, and
you have to figure out your own bathroom schedule as well as another creature's.
I haven't slept more than 4 hours since I've gotten this dog.
Meanwhile, Bananas over there just
slump.
Splist.
Banana bread.
Banana bread.
Making banana bread.
A total loaf right now.
Yeah.
But if just a refresher on the episode, Gregory got nominated for the Teacher of
He
the
got
Year
an award
award.
and he didn't want it.
Well, also because he hadn't been teaching a full year.
Yeah, he didn't feel he deserved it.
And then Janine had that issue with the teacher or the parent.
Yeah, and she was crying.
She was feeling bad about herself as a teacher. And at the same time,
Barbara helped her out, but then was like...
Barbara was also being, like, questioned for her age on her teaching ability. She had to do that test.
Yeah, and she... Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of nice moments. I felt like a very standard episode.
Yeah.
It was cool to see how Gregory accepted the award and Schlementi's introduction to him. I don't remember that. She like all the sports references.
Yeah, she took the whole speech from something else. Like,
yeah. I also loved at the very end with her. I think it was with her, and she's like answering the questions on the quiz. And it like pans out, and that one young teacher's there, like giving her all of the answers and all the slang.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been a nice addition this season.
Oh wait, she was giving her the answers. I thought that was like her online teacher or something.
No, that was her online teacher.
Yeah,
you're right.
She was like giving her class, and then like all of a sudden, like she takes over of like, all right, John.
Yeah,
like,
giving the little lessons.
Yeah. Yeah, great episode. I think that I've been, I've said it about all of them, but I think most of them have been like home runs. I think this one was just a base hitter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like. Still a base hitter.
Still a solid. Still on base.
Yeah.
Still on base. Not a swing and a miss. Not a strikeout.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go back and rewatch in a binge way this season.
Yeah, I know. I've been like holding off on that. I've like up until like episode 9 of the season, I probably rewatched it like 2 or 3 times. Like, and even rewatching season 1.
Yeah.
And then I would just kind of go into season 2 and watch up to where I was at. But
it's definitely my show right now that I'll ask if people are watching. Because I think that more people should be watching it.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely know, like, the Twitter internet really loves it, but I feel like it hasn't fully hit its, like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm starting to also get to the point where I'm just, like, tired of people being like, I love The Office, and I love Parks and Rec, and I love New Girl. Dude, like, I love those shows, too, but, like, it starts to get, like, a little bit basic feeling.
That's what I was on, like, all of the first half of season 2 of just, like, I don't know, I was talking a little shit on The Office, but it's like... I love The Office.
I love The Office,
and I'm
too.
even rewatching Parks right now. Like, I'm putting on Parks just to, like...
And I love Parks.
Just to have something that I know I don't have to watch. Just to know something I can just tune in at any moment.
Feels
and I can
good.
remember where it's at and be like... it was like, oh, just put it on. It was like... It's so funny because I was watching it and it was like... Me and Pei were watching it and it was like... Andy just became the shoe shiner.
Oh, nice.
And we're like, so is this the episode where Ron moans?
Yeah.
And then it wasn't. And then Tammy got introduced into it. And then we're like, is this the cornrow episode with Ron? And it wasn't.
But it's still nice that like you see it and you're instantly like, oh, is this moment about to happen?
Yeah. But then it was still just, it was like the first like of them meeting. And then he like, I don't know, he goes on like a little 2-day bender with her. And she like finesses him for the library.
Yeah. Have you gotten to 94 meetings yet?
What's that?
There's an episode called 94 Meetings.
Oh, where April.
Yeah. Have you gotten that one yet?
I mean, not in. I just have only watched like 3 episodes since I started rewatching it, but I've seen that episode.
Whenever
plenty of times.
I think like not my first watch, but I think my second rewatch, I rewound the moment where like Leslie ties herself to like the gate, and she's like, "I'll stop him no matter what," and then they open the gate, and it's like a full swing open gate. Oh my god, she's just like attached. She had thrown the key right before. But I always have my comfort show. I love having a show that I've seen before and I can just put on and not care if I fall asleep and miss an episode or 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I went back to Parks. We just wanted something to watch where we like, because I've been making her watch Ted Lasso and I don't know. I'm like,
I can only watch Ted Lasso so many times,
Yeah, and I just I'm like, even I've seen it a bunch, but it's like I want her to experience all of it, you know. So I'm like, I don't want to talk to her during. I don't want to, or I don't want to talk that much during it. Like, and then it's like, so I want something that's like a little bit more social and
fair,
a little less, Because I'm just so serious about like watching shit sometimes. Like,
you gotta be diving in.
Yeah, it's nice to not.
So you didn't watch the Ted Lasso this week?
I watched it. but I was having anxiety because Banana.
Fair.
I was
fair.
so worried about Banana last night.
That's so
And I
nice.
tried watching it to feel better. And I think I watched it like twice even. Like, and just I didn't really pay attention.
That's fair.
I know a big story element of it. I know Nate went on the date, and then that was weird to me. I'll talk about what I do know, but that Jade thing at the end,
Yeah.
that doesn't hit right for me.
Nate on a date with Jade. 3 rhymes almost.
She has been the like worst, and Nate's like in a bad, character, point right
Yeah.
now, where he's not the greatest. But she has been nothing but like a terrible person like this whole show, and for her to just like sit down and be like, sure, I'll go on a date with you now. But I mean, like, what do you think the purpose of that is?
I think it goes well. If we're gonna build on their whole arc, I think
She thought he was corny.
Well, he thought that he was gonna impress her by showing up as a bigwig now. You know what I'm saying? Like he was coming back for have his like pretty girl moment or pretty woman moment, and be like, look at me now.
Yeah.
Like you were mistreating me, and I think this episode showed that like he didn't process fully that she wasn't interested in him because of his status. It was because he was like a weird and awkward man, and like,
But
she was mean to him because he was just like a weird, awkward dude, and she's working her job. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying too.
Yeah, it just
I think he should be a little bit more reserved of her, just as he should be a little bit more reserved of Richard, or even that model. You know what I'm saying? But I do think maybe he was starting to put it together that it's not like about his status, but about, as the kids say, his riz. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, when she kind of was just like the baklava is divine and like laughed at him a little bit, it's like, okay, that makes sense that she's kind of like.
And I think it was a moment that was good for him because he finally had a moment where somebody made fun of him and he didn't like freak out about it.
Yeah,
He laughed and like went on about it. But who knows how it'll end up? I don't know.
No, yeah,
it was a little bit weird. You're right, because she has been throwing him a lot of shade.
Yeah, it's like even when he was like the weird, awkward guy, it's like you were very rude to him then, and then he tries the the pretty woman moment. It's like, you're just as rude, but and then also the manager at one point was like, "No, this is my guy, free food." So it's like he also has like VIP status at the restaurant now, more or less. Like,
and I think that drove it home even more. That it was like she just didn't care if he was a VIP or not. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he did, and he's like, still gotta pay for the booze. Sorry about that.
And I guess there is something for like, because he was like, "Yeah, she's gone. What are you up to?" He did invite her.
Yeah.
To sit, and join him, like, and she did say yes. So there is something to like him, almost like unshamefully just being like, "I'm a bigwig. Yeah, this model just left."
Yeah, and like she didn't like him until she saw him being authentic, and that's why the model didn't like him either. When he was being like, the baklava's divine, and like he loved that place, and like the waitress wasn't having it, or not the waitress, the model wasn't having it, but the waitress was like, this guy's kind of like cute.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I can see that now. Just being like, like she finally saw his charm a little bit in that moment. Yeah. All right.
And it's like a full circle moment because she was like the first person that he tried to like practice charisma on, and like talking to.
You're right. That is such a big moment. That's where he learned the spit thing instead of the getting big.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't get big, but he had to like bring himself down to get big, and
but it did feel a little weird. You know what I'm saying? This episode was definitely for the most of it was the weirdest episode of this season.
Yeah.
But I think it was a turning point for Ted. I don't know how much
so I definitely missed a lot. I know that I heard Higgins be like, "We have to fire Ted."
Yeah, that was a whisper. Yeah.
I heard Higgins say that.
If they lost again, and they did.
Yeah, I know Zava's gone.
Yeah.
And then I also heard that he like retired. So walk me through the episode. I know the story beats.
You got it all. And then Keely had to fire her friend.
Keely had to fire her friend.
Freaked out.
Her friend freaked out.
And then she hooked up with her boss.
She did hook up with her boss.
Which go Keely. But the Ted moment that I thought was great. So,
Yeah, tell me the Ted.
Well, first Ted was dealing with the fact that he thought there's an awesome moment where, like Ted thinks his son got bullied.
Yeah, and he.
And
yeah.
then,
Okay.
What's her name? Oh my gosh, boss lady. What's her name?
Rebecca.
Rebecca has been dealing with the psychic, and they're like having the interaction, and she's like,
With
"Yeah,
her
sorry, I bullied you," and he's like, "Oh," he's like, "I guess you're just psychic," and she's like, "Oh," like they both said like the triggering word to each other without realizing that they were having like issues with the psychic and having issues with bullying.
Why does Ted have an issue with the psychic?
He doesn't. That's
Oh.
that's like he just said it like, "Oh, you must be psychic," because
Oh.
she thought she read his mind on something he said.
Okay.
And like when he said that, she like was like psychic, and like when she said bullied, Ted was like bullied. Like they both did it.
I did notice their little walk away awkward from each
Um,
other.
But then Ted finds out that his son was the bully, and I think that messes with him even more because he feels like if he was there, his son wouldn't have been a bully.
Yeah.
But then he FaceTimes his son, and his son's like, "No, your advice helped out and all that stuff." But at the very end of the episode, after they lost and everything, he goes in and just like, "All right, practice on Monday," and that's like all he's gonna say. And that felt like how Ted's been this whole season of just like, "All right, we lost, whatever." You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
won, whatever. But then they're like, "What about Zava?" And he has that great speech, and he like tears up the believe sign, and he's like, "Believe isn't like a sign, and like it isn't the thing on the back. It's like a thing you do." And he like gives like a really great like season 1 Ted speech to the team, and I'm like, "All right, he's back." Like not he's back, but
Okay,
like
I'm
this is a
watching
great.
this bitch tonight.
It's just
then.
like a good Ted moment of being like
I missed the speech. I didn't.
him being able to like rile them up and be like, "Yo, it was never about the sign," because like the sign falls in the middle of his speech.
Yeah.
It like tears off, and they're like, "We're doomed." And he's like, he just tears it even more.
Well,
He's
and
like,
that
it's not about
happened-
the sign.
That happened in the last episode too,
Right.
and they figured out that Nate
Yeah.
had ripped it up, and
It happened. It happened again, and then
Okay.
Ted's like, you guys are like worried about the wrong thing. It isn't about that. It's about like what's in your heart. And then Roy's like looking over at Jamie, and Jamie's like, "Yeah, this is my moment." And at the very end, he's like 4 a.m. and he's like, "Let's go." I don't know. So it does seem like Jamie's being set up to have some big moments. But it was a nice moment because it felt like Ted finally coaching again and like giving them inspiration and lifting them up and like doing what he's supposed to do while they've been like sort of getting by on Zava this season. And I also just love that like Zava is sort of foreshadowing, I think, what Ted is going to end up having to make the decision of. You know, like Zava's like, you can't dedicate yourself to like one thing 100. You have to dedicate yourself one thing 100%. And like, I have to do it. Dedicate myself to my family and my avocado farm.
That's what Zava did.
Yeah, that's what he says.
I knew
in
he
his
left.
speech.
I know Ted said he retired. Like so, it's
Oh.
like I know he like before the speech or whatever because I saw them in the locker room and talking about like, well, what are we gonna do about Zava? And he's like, well, he's gone. Like
Yeah.
he's like, and at least he retired from the sport and
Didn't
didn't
just like leave us.
yeah, like and that kind of threw me off. But then I'm like, all right, like I do hope Jamie goes up against Zava at the end.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
But if they're building Zava up like this, that may not happen. But
yeah, I just like the idea that like they're giving us an example of somebody who decided to choose family over like work or sport.
Yeah,
or,
no,
like,
that's
greatness. But also, I think that maybe there's a chance that Zava comes back because Zava's wild. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean Rupert's gonna pull
Rupert's
Zava
gonna
out
try
the
to pull
avocado
something.
farm, you know.
But I think that that's what Ted at the end is going to have to decide. Make
Do you
that decision.
think?
The real question is, who do you think the father of Rebecca's child is going to be?
She's pregnant?
No, but she found out like she's making steps to
Oh,
have a baby.
yeah. I don't know.
Sometimes I pull for Ted Deca. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit that I would think that like that wouldn't not make sense. I just think that there should be a little bit more of a
Development on that.
yeah. There should be a little bit more of a ground
Yeah,
floor for that.
definitely.
But yeah.
Sam Ecca too is good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to call them Ram. That sounds weird.
Ram.
But
Sam.
I'm excited for where the rest of the season might go. This is
Yeah.
definitely like a slower of the episodes.
This is definitely the worst episode of the season, probably. I mean,
You heard it here first.
maybe not. Maybe, maybe this ties with the first episode.
No, I think this one might be worse than the first.
Really? Okay.
Just for me.
I'm just excited for that speech at the end. I'm not going to lie.
The speech, I might have saved the whole thing.
That's what I'm.
I think
That's what I'm
the
hoping
speech
for.
the speech was really good. You should watch it,
Yeah.
and you'll get pumped up again.
Cause the last thing I remember was him being like, at least he retired from the sport, you know. And then the next thing I remember is the emotional music and the title
Yeah.
card, or like the credits rolling, and I was like, what just happened?
One small moment that stresses me out a little bit, and we mentioned it in the last episode, and it got mentioned again very briefly in this one, but Keely is talking with her boss, Jack, and she's like, "Oh, so what about the breakup?" She's like, "No, that was actually
That's right before they
fun."
hook up, right?
She's like, "That was actually quite fun," and like she's like reminiscing on Jamie again, and like how funny it. And then she like doesn't want to talk about Roy, obviously. But I'm like, oh man, that she's mentioning how much she liked Jamie again. Is like that gonna happen?
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask her before we get off this too, is like, what do you think about Keely hooking up with her boss? Like, I think that's like, you know, it's dope that it happened, you know what I mean? But like, also it's like, it is a little confusing to me too, just of like, oh, I don't want like a third person in on this. And maybe they're not going to be serious or anything, but it's like, it just feels weird that like, you know, I don't know.
Maybe they were trying to like red herring us by being like, oh my god, she's gonna get with Jamie, and then she's actually getting with Jack.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be, I mean, they can't, you know, she's not just going to be with her boss now. Like, she can't. I mean, but she could, but like, that'd be weird to me.
It'd be like on the level of hiring your friend that's a terrible worker and not firing them.
Yes.
Like, it'd be on that kind of level of like not great professionally.
Yeah, but yeah, and that girl told her she had to fire her.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And now she's hooking up. But I'm just saying, like, on like a story element, it's like you have these two people. Now you're teasing us with this Jamie shit.
This Jamie,
and now
this
this
Jamie
third
Roy
person
triangle
just comes in out of nowhere.
Now we got a square going on.
Yeah, who's kind of a hypocrite now that you pointed out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll see where it goes. They might both feel awkward about it. You know, they were drinking a little bit.
Okay.
They were in the throes of, you know, cleaning up poop. That's a very romantic.
Oh yeah, the goat poop.
Goat poop.
From Sean.
Not the greatest of all time, but real goat poop.
Yeah. But yeah.
What else is there? Any other TV that's? I mean, obviously, okay. I know you're not watching it, but I have to just say it to document it. I think the most recent episode of Succession that just came out was like maybe one of the best television episodes of all time.
How so?
I don't want to spoil things for you. But
is
like,
there any way you can say why you think it's the best without maybe spoiling? And you can spoil something because, like,
I'll just say there's a scene in this thing. This thing, it's shot on film, and film can only shoot up to 10 minutes. So they designed an entire boat set and scene with tons of like guests and extras in it, and it's like a hugely emotional scene. And it's 21 minutes long, and they did it in one take by having like multiple cameras like start up as one was ending and start up as one was ending. They like go through this whole boat. And, like, essentially all of it was just one take. Like, they used the whole thing. And so, like, they had to, like, memorize, like, all of that. It was essentially like a play, in a way. But, like, it didn't feel like a play. It felt like a normal episode because they were, like, going through this whole boat. But, like, I don't know. It just felt, like, very raw and real. And, like, they used pretty much all of just one take. I mean, not just one camera, obviously, because they're re-reloading and stuff. But, like,
you do see a couple cuts.
Yeah. But, it just, because it feels like a normal episode still. But, like,
I was just in my head thinking, I'm like, are they like, do they have like some little track, you know what I mean? And then it like falls off course while like one is like still going, and they just kind of like slightly cut it, but it doesn't look like there's a cut. Like,
it's definitely edited to feel like a normal episode. So it was probably like they had like two cameras going at all times, and then maybe like a third or a fourth that would get rotated in.
Okay.
But just the fact that like they had to have all these things memorized, and then the scene had to continue. Like it would leave the room and go to a different place, and then it would come back to that room, and like all those actors had to stay in it for that whole time. I don't know. It just felt like super real, and like
they're on a boat. Why are they on a boat? Why is Succession on a boat?
They're at one of their brother's weddings. And so like
rich white people, man.
The guy is marrying essentially like a prostitute. He like had a prostitute for a girlfriend, then marries her. They're like very explicit about like their relationship revolves around like her being financially secure because she's with him. The show is weird. You're like not supposed to like these people.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of what makes the show great is that you see these like really rich people who are just like still so deeply unsatisfied and unhappy, and are like fighting to like find satisfaction and peace, but like going about it so terribly, I don't know. But this was definitely like the peak highlight moment, and it happened like third episode of the season, and so like that was another reason that it was just like whoa, crazy. But
Dope.
great episode. I think it'll probably win Kieran Culkin award.
Oh, he's in it?
Yeah, it was definitely like his best episode.
I was gonna say I've seen him a lot lately, and I just never, I now that I think about it, I'm like, oh, I probably have heard it because I saw an old photo too of like all the three. Have you seen that?
Yeah,
that photo?
he's in what's it called? Home Alone, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's the one that drinks too much soda. You know what I'm saying? That
That's
cousin.
Funny. But I saw there was that old photo of them as kids, like in like this hotel room or some shit. That was like a super dope photo of like them like playing. It's like them like playing with toys and like having like cereal or some shit. But it's like a fancy ass hotel room.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
is this what the fucking Macaulay? Like, this is what their life was like at fucking
That's
doing
wild.
Home Alone and shit. Like,
Just pulling
could
in
you
the
imagine
mills.
being like a rich ass like 7-year-old like in the 90s?
You've like pulled in $1 million and you're not even in double digits yet.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. If you got like this
10
amazing
out
ass
of 10.
press photo, like with your brothers and shit. Like
That's wild.
it was a hard ass photo, but yeah. Then I feel like I've just been seeing his name everywhere, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't know he was like a big actor, and then I'm like, all right, I guess that makes sense.
He was in like Fargo. He's been in a few other things too.
Okay.
He's been a big character throughout this whole show too. He's just normally like super sarcastic and snarky and like
What happened to Macaulay Culkin? Where's he at?
who knows? That's the main one, right?
Yeah, it was the
He's
whole-
married to Brenda Song.
Oh yeah. So he is, but he just doesn't act anymore. But he is like a little bit like he's not like hidden.
No, and that one Culkin was just in Swarm.
Who did he play?
Wasn't there a Culkin that like she hooks up with from the club?
Yep.
And then that's when she.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right off the
know,
bat. Yeah. No, yeah. He was like the just like the long haired dude.
Yeah. But Kieran's Hot Ones was this week too.
Okay. I definitely saw that.
They're so good at timing those out with like people's TV schedules and stuff like that to do promotion for the show as well as you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The best ending to one recently was Pedro's, who ended, and like they always ask like, so what are you up to? Like, what do you got coming out? And he has Last of Us and Mandalorian coming out, and instead he's like, I'm gonna be dealing with the hotness in my mouth, and then I'm gonna go to a museum, and I also might shit my brains out. We'll see. And it's like, I don't know.
Well, that's the funny thing about Hot Ones too, is that like it's he kind of like always like caters. It's like, all right, you did it, you completed it. Now plug the world and tell them what you got. And it's like no one really ever wants to, no one ever seems like, go see the movie. You know what I mean? No one's ever like too excited to like promote their shit to where it's like, it's kind of funny that like it's almost like a game show to win the promotion. It's like I wish that there was like an element of like some smaller people on Hot Ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could really use that plug. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always people that don't need it. You know what I mean? Not like saying anything, but I mean it's just funny that they paint it out to be like this like big plug. You know what I mean? But it's like Pedro don't need to plug the
Pedro
fucking
didn't plug. Yeah. It'd been cool to see Bella on it. Bella Ramsey.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. They always definitely pick like like when Kate Blanchett's having her moment, she's on and stuff like that. But Kate, I liked Kate's because she had her what's going on with in the world written on her hand.
Is the Maya Rudolph thing fake?
I don't know.
Have you ever seen her on Hot Ones? There's a clip of her, and I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up just because I saw this on a YouTube short, and then like, and I was like, and I never went and watched her shit, but like, I was like, this can't be real. And then I think I saw somewhere where it was like, this is fake.
Dude, one thing that's funny to me about Hot Ones on YouTube, if you click it,
like on this one a little bit more.
I'm sure. Okay, that one hit right away.
Yeah, that one has a little bit of a kick.
Mm-hmm. You think so?
So, what inspired you to become more involved with charity?
Trump, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor.
Anything.
I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up.
This next sauce.
Dude, that's definitely real.
Dragon's breath.
I'm out of beer. Where with the beer? Come here. Come here.
Has a Scoville rating.
There's no way she's just chugging beer though like this.
No, it's not.
I love you. Okay.
Watch this.
Keep talking, it's cool. I'm just gonna pour the milk right into it.
Oh, gross. That's you're not supposed to do that.
We're getting into
Oh, God.
serious territory.
Oh, God!
Scroll down in the comments. I gotta know.
So it seems like
Hold
your
on.
ex-husband has
I
been
want to just
supportive
finish
of
it.
her.
And fuck that motherfucker.
So things are
What
not.
are you doing, Sean? Would you go to fucking school? That asshole cheated on me on being on your stupid ass show, getting my fucking face melted off, eating these little tiny spicy pieces of shit, when blowing my fucking shorts out on fucking national television.
It's a YouTube channel.
I don't give a fuck what the fucking.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the comments because I want to. Everyone's just like, I love her.
Yeah, I mean, someone says, is there a full episode? But that makes me think that this might just be a skit. Like,
I gotta
Yeah.
look this up because it seems like there's also a chance that maybe it was real and they deleted it off of YouTube.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, someone said funniest hot ones ever.
Okay.
It is fake.
It's from Loot. Oh my god. Okay. I think it's from her TV show. Her TV show on Apple TV.
Okay.
There was a comment up there that said Loot.
Yeah, and someone under said, this has to be for a movie or TV show.
I saw there was a moment like that happened on Twitter that what were the Infinity War directors?
Russo brothers.
It was one of the Russo brothers, I think, and they essentially were like, this is not how you act on a set. They didn't like say it that seriously, but they were like, this is not how you act on a set. And it's this dude, and he's just like, who's the director on the set? Who's the director? He's like, I want you to say cut when I say cut. And he's like freaking out and having a meltdown. And somebody had to tell him, they were like, no, like this is shot on a cell phone, but like it's shot from the set of a movie that is on a set. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so like it looks real because it's shot on the iPhone of like somebody recording the take, but it is just a.
That's funny. I wonder
But
why.
it is funny when movie like things like that can feel so real.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Even just seeing the clip of it being like a clip of TV, you know,
Yeah.
but that does give you the little bit element of like, oh, is this like a deleted one?
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of not being able to tell if something is real or a game or fake or real, should we talk about our movie?
yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
What do you mean by that?
Give me a fucking mic, buddy.
Oh shit. Here we
Here
go
we go
again.
again.
I'm 2 for 2 on transitions today. 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
2 for 2?
Some would say I'm winning the transition game.
Oh, man.
So the movie this week was a Stevie pick,
Stevie pick.
and I had seen it before.
This was an unexpected Stevie pick. I thought for sure you were going to go with the other one.
I haven't seen Puss in Boots.
You'd
so
seen
maybe-
this one, though, right?
Yeah, but I was scrolling on Prime just like looking for movies the other day, and I saw it, and I was like, I haven't seen this in forever. I can't even remember what happens.
Okay.
And I've been in a real big true crime type, like whodunit suspense type movie kick.
Yeah.
I've been binging True Detectives, which is funny because Rachel McAdams is in True Detective season 2. But the movie this week is Game Night.
Game night.
Jason Bateman, Rachel McAdams, Kyle Chandler,
Who's
that
that?
guy from his brother in this.
Mm.
That's his actor's name.
Who else is in it? The one dude that's like he gets beat up at the party, but he's like the actor. He's the Watcher in MCU.
Yes. Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yep. And then it's funny because you have the neighbor who's the cop. He was actually in Friday Night Lights too.
Yeah.
Along with the brother who's in.
He's
Friday
that
Night
dude that
Lights.
looks like Matt Damon's brother.
Yep. And he has like one of my favorite, most awkward lines, and like I don't know, it just cracks me up. Even though like it's so awkward when he's just like, "Oh, Frito-Lay, how can they pull off a 3-for-1 deal? That doesn't seem profitable."
Dude, the way
for
he
them."
talks is so. I was gonna like whenever I was watching it, I was like, I should talk like this on the pod. Like, I should try to talk like him because
And Ted Lasso this week was.
yeah. Even he's like even like it was so funny when they like come to his house and he's like very weird. Like at first, of course, like because he's just weird the whole time. But then at the end, he's like, but I will say, I can't lie. I've been eager. he's like, I've been very eager to get a random surprise like this, and then he just like walks away holding his dog, and they're like, do we come in?
Yeah.
You know, like what?
What the
And then
heck do
someone's
we
like,
do?
I don't know, I'm scared. Like, you know.
Oh. Do you want to give the fake synopsis?
Yeah. It seems like a fun one for a fake synopsis. So there's this guy, and he's dating a girl, and then there's this girl, and she's dating a guy, and then they're doing some trivia night, and both their spouses are not really into it like they are, but then they prevail with their right answers, and then they lock eyes, and that's like the start of it, the true love starting over games.
Love at first game.
Yeah, so Jason Bateman.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, Rachel McAdams. Peyton hates Jason Bateman, so I was trying to explain her the plot to this.
Ah.
And I was like, all right, I'm like, I know you don't like him, but let me just hear this out. I'm like, and she's like, he's so weird. And I'm like, all right, so you got the weird guy, and then you got the mean girl, right? So I'm gonna say weird guy and mean girl, but yeah, the weird guy and the mean girl, they fall in love, and they bond over games, and so they're just having their regular date night, and then his brother shows back up. You know, he's a little stuff going on. He's a little jealous of his brother. He's trying to have kids. You know, lots of stuff. Then his
The brother.
yeah, and then his brother decides to host game night at his mansion, and makes the pot a little steep that night over his nice ass car. You know, whoever wins gets the car.
Vroom,
And then
vroom.
he says it's gonna be like this kidnapping scenario, and then he gets kidnapped. But it turns out he actually got kidnapped, and
It wasn't a game.
Yeah, and then the actors bust in later, and they're like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah.
And
And they have to figure out
yeah.
and save him and figure it out.
And drama ensues, yeah. And it leads to just the coolest moment of the movie. One of the funniest moments of the movie is whenever they all find out like it's fake or not real, or it is real, and it just skips to Rachel McAdams at the bar, like she's just dancing, and she's got this gun, and then she's like putting it up into the like dude's face to like sing. You know,
Yeah.
I don't even remember what
What's
song.
the first song that came on is like a 90s hit.
That's what I'm saying. It's
And
such
then it
a
like
big
flashes
hit.
back to like a more of a dance hit, and she's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
playing with
she
the
drops
guns.
the gun, and she's like, "Oh no,
Well,
mister."
And it's so funny because they're so serious about games that they actually do a hold up, correct?
Yeah.
Where they like get everybody on the ground, they like strip search them, they take
Yeah.
all the guns away, they find the keys, and like meanwhile she's just like having fun, she's
Yeah.
like being a goofball.
And then they
Oh.
get into the room, and they find their brother. He's
They
tied
take the
up.
selfie with
Yeah.
him. She like
She-
puts the gun in her mouth with the selfie. It's very like have you seen This Is the End?
Yeah, I just
Where
put
like
that on recently.
where Jonah grabs the gun and he's like, "Ooh, I got the gun. I'm
Yeah.
so scary."
Yeah.
Oh, and you're like stressing out. And then like she finds out it's real, and her first reaction, she shoots it, and her first reaction is just to drop it because it's a fucking gun, and then she
And shoots again.
she shoots him. Oh.
Yeah, and shoots Jason Bateman right in the arm.
And
Shoots
that's-
the weird guy.
I love that's how they realize it's very real, because suddenly it's like, even if this was fake, he has a bullet in his arm. It's like regardless, it's very real now.
Yeah. Yeah, because there is that level of skepticism like the whole time in this movie, you know, of like what's real, you know what I mean? They kind of eliminate it for a little bit there, but then they kind of bring it back at a certain point, you know, and
I think this movie does a great job of balancing like fun and funny with like suspense and like what the heck is going on. I also it's a great cast. You have the guy from New Girl, and I think he's great in this. I can't remember.
is
the
he like
actor's
the
name.
younger guy that like brings like the girls?
No,
Oh.
he's the one that his wife had hooked up with Denzel.
Denzel. That's a good ass plot line. This is so
well,
funny.
and that's what I love about this is that each of the coupled like partners all have their own little individual thing they're working through.
Yeah.
Like the other guy is finally found somebody who's like interested in him and not like an Instagram model, and like he's working through that kind of.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but is she like she's kind of not interested in him?
Yeah,
too.
yeah,
Like,
but,
she's,
like-
I think she's kind of like having like trying to have a little fun. You know what I mean? And because I think there's that sense of like, are you falling for me? And he's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
she's like, you're joking, right? I don't know. You know, it's like,
I love the part where it's like later in the movie, and they're like, "Why are you still like here? Like you can go. Like this is dangerous." And she's like, "Well, if I like saw that you guys were dead, if I was read in the newspaper that you guys were dead, I would feel bad. So I want to be here." with you guys. And then the guy's like, you read the newspaper? And she's like, that's what you got out of this? Like, I said I wanted to be here with you guys, and you...
Yeah.
But the Denzel Washington plotline is amazing because it's like a tension that's built between them, and you're like, oh, man, like...
I think, doesn't it also, like, resolve, like, at that weird, like, Fight Club party, too? Like, isn't that where he figures it out,
because
too?
she's like, fine, it was Denzel, and he's like, it wasn't Denzel. She's like, I have a picture.
Yeah.
And then he sees the picture, and he's like, that's
She
not
still
true.
doesn't believe it, and then she starts, like, once she
She
starts...
puts together the plot. She's like,
No.
did he say his name? And she's like, well, he was going to, but I stopped him. And he's like, and he took me back to his condo, and he had 2-bedroom condo. One was his spare office. And then she like looks at it again, and she's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and then he's like, yeah, he's like that. She zooms in on the nose. He's like, yeah, you zoom in on that nose, it gives it away, don't it?
Oh, and it's a great picture because the guy does kind of look a little bit like Denzel.
He's like, baby, he looks like Denzel. That ain't. And then he's like, and then he starts quoting lines from Training Day, like, you know, he's like, I don't know. He starts like, you want the real Denzel? You know, like,
do you want to go home? Want to go to jail or want to go home?
yeah.
That he doesn't say that, but that's what I think of. I just love that his mood instantly shifts from being like, he's like, oh my God, you like hooked up with someone. Oh my God, you hooked up with Denzel. And he's like, I'm going to let you have this because you just found out that you didn't hook up with Denzel.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it goes to show, like, I wonder, like, you know, I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's a fucking tiny little plot line of this movie. But, like, I bet it, like, I like to think that if it would have actually been Denzel, he would have been like, damn, that's dope. You know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, he wasn't upset about, like, her hooking up.
No.
You know what I mean? He just was so curious about the
Like
celebrity.
He had to have it settle in his mind. He had to be able to process the truth.
Yeah.
But I love their little, like, Jason Bateman and Rachel McAdams' characters' energy. They're just, like, the classic, like, just very normal people, but, like, love love board games and love movies. It's, like, the classic couple. Like,
you know, there was a funny meme clip going around a little bit, and it was, like, something about, like, God, it might have been Euphoria, but it was some show where it's like, oh no, it was like, like Me If Any of the Men Die in White Lotus. It was season 2 of White Lotus, and it was Rachel McAdams, like yes, no,
oh my gosh,
like whenever he gets sucked into the jet plane.
One of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Oh, because she's like instantly celebrating. Like, yes. Oh wait. No,
he's dead.
Oh God, that was horrible. I also love that this like the fake out ending. I think it's well done in this. You know, like where you think everything's resolved and you think the dude saved the day, and then all of a sudden he gets shot again, and you're like, then Jason Bateman's like, aha, it's a fake, it's a game, and he like pushes on the wound, and he's like, oh
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I like how like in the you know, in the ending of the movie, I like how like the games come into play, like with the couple too, of like they're like charading through the shit. You know what I mean? To like turn the belt on, and yeah,
it's a great game night, and they play like essentially like capture the flag in the rich people's house.
Yeah, that's a cool scene. I like how it goes to that house too. I know it's like a weird like little Fight Club like party.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's
But
hilarious
it's like
because earlier in the movie, the dude's like, I bet rich people just have like little boxing fights where they have their little men fight for them. But also, those guys were scary.
yeah, that dude, what was his name? Boomer. or
Boomer.
something? Yeah, it's like Boomer's just chasing everybody around the house, and it's like chasing Rachel McAdams or some shit. It's like, yo, like that is a big ass dude chasing a small girl. Like,
over a tiny egg.
yeah.
And then I also they get the egg, and then it breaks open, and then he's like, it says made in China, and he's like, maybe it's just this little piece that was made in China.
Yeah.
Oh, great cast. I honestly, it feels like not the last, but like one of the latest released like big cast comedies.
But also something that is like completely overlooked, if you ask me. Like this is like it's a good movie, but almost like its lack of like life makes me like almost like, you know, like I have no reason to critique this movie, but I feel like when we get to the rating, it's like it automatically damn near loses like 2 points just for not being universally loved almost, or not like but not even like it's just not even talked about a little bit. You know,
it
what I
feels
mean?
like it should be like a cult classic in a way. Not a cult classic, just like a classic comedy in the way that like Step Brothers or like, not necessarily like a super bad, but like maybe more like a Knocked Up, like a that level of thought of comedy. Like when you think of comedies from the last 10 years, we almost had Banana there for a second, but Banana got camera shy. If you think about like comedies in the last 10 years, it probably doesn't get brought up, but I think it ought to.
Yeah.
I think it just doesn't have the cultural impact.
It's hard for me to put it in a comedy like fully.
That's fair. I think that's like part of the issue is that
comedy isn't
since like 2010s, sort of after
21 Jump Street kind of switches that.
21 Jump Street might be the last of that like era of like a movie that is a comedy solely or like mainly.
Yeah.
Nowadays you get
But
like
that's still
dramedies,
blended
you
in
get
with,
like thriller mystery comedies, you get your bodies, but you get your different flavors of comedies. But you don't have like a straight up comedy. I also feel like maybe part of the reason is that it's like its demographic for audience of movie might be like a little bit of an older crowd, and so it didn't get absorbed culturally as much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those people don't give a fuck about movies that much anymore, or like maybe not that much new shit. You know what I mean? They damn near have to be like spoon-fed new movies, like directly on their TVs, like.
And even like bigger comedies that I thought were great don't get as much attention. Like Palm Springs didn't really get. I mean, a lot of people like that movie, but it doesn't get like talked about a ton.
It's like the Groundhog Day type thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
With
Andy Samberg.
And doesn't it have a girl in it that's pretty big? Is it Rose Byrne or
I can't remember her
the girl
name.
from Bridesmaids?
She might be in it. I can't remember. I think so.
Look up who's in that because I don't think it might not be her, but like.
But this movie has a great cast. It's also Jason Bateman, and he's been big.
I know. Peyton is just like doesn't like him for something. I'm like, why? I was like, why don't you like Jason Bateman? I was like, what's wrong? She's like, he's weird. That's all she says. He's weird.
I get it, because he is weird. But that's also why I like him.
I'm like, I've just never heard anyone. Oh, Kristen Milotti. That's the girl that the How I Met Your Mother girl. J.K. Simmons is in it too.
Yep.
Camila Mendes.
Camila Mendes, baby, she's in it. I love Camila Mendes.
Oh, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why she doesn't like Jason Bateman. I love Jason Bateman. He's
Oh, I sort of get it.
Yeah.
He's like not a straightforward person. You know what I mean? Like he's not like Seth Rogen where he's just like his funniness is that he is serious.
Yeah.
But like he knows he's serious.
Yeah. I to me that's just like how do you not I don't know. How do you not get that? You know, but like I love it.
It works so well for like somebody who's like very competitive and into board games. Like he's just a perfect actor for that.
Yeah. Mike Judge, dude that did like King of the Hill and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He's done 3 movies, one of which is Office Space, second of which is Idiocracy, third of which is called I can't remember. It's a Jason Bateman movie though. And it's definitely overlooked. And I even started it one time.
Do you know what the plot is?
It's called Extract. Yeah, it's called Extract, and he owns like this factory. And
yeah, I've watched some of that.
You know that? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I never finished
it. It's like butter, maybe?
No, but it's like I don't know. It might be like smell. I don't know. It's like some weird thing. Like
I think I remember it with Extract because it came out the same year as Butter, the movie Butter.
Okay.
But I've seen this poster a bunch.
Yeah, Mila Kunis is in it, and I think he like almost is like.
I know I've seen this movie.
Yeah, he's like not attracted to his wife. There's like some kind of weird plot line with that where he's like attracted to Mila Kunis in it. Damn, that's funny.
But I think
Ben Affleck
and Jason Bateman are in a movie.
Yeah, and they were talking about that. Ben Affleck was on Smartless.
And he's talking about this movie?
Yeah, I know. Well, they mentioned being in a movie together, but loosely, you know, because they were more talking about Air.
Oh, that's cool. I know there's definitely a way to explain why Game Night hasn't hit the levels I think.
Yeah,
it could.
I mean,
it isn't as memeable. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it was. It is kind of too.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
Just, I don't know.
I feel like it's a movie that's like made for like the 25 and up crowd.
Yeah, for
but like
sure.
the 25 and up crowd haven't heard of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
To me, I love like these type of plots. Like this is like just a dumb, like not a dumb movie plot, but kind of a dumb movie plot to me.
yeah.
That's why I liked Cocaine Bear. That's why I like a few things. There's just like something about like the way movies felt in like my childhood and stuff that I feel like are attempting more now. You know?
I definitely think so. There's that one well, just movies that don't feel like they have to like reach the highest of highs.
Yeah.
They could just be fun.
Yeah.
And they don't have to like make a point about anything.
And be
Even though this kinda does make some points.
unrealistic too is like a big part of it all
Yeah.
too. Like
And not having to worry about like this would never happen.
yeah.
Because it sort of does just take like the most average boring thing. Not boring. Game nuts are fucking rad. But it does take like the most like average, kind of night and then take it up a notch. And keep taking it up a notch. If anything, maybe one critique would be it doesn't like feel totally like the villain doesn't feel earned in a way. Like the final boss doesn't feel as scary as it
Yeah.
could.
Who is that? That's the dude. What's he from?
I don't remember.
He's a big actor though.
Pull it up. We can figure this out. But I do think this movie is like a hidden gem in a lot of ways.
No, for sure. Like this is one that like, wait, you said it's on Amazon?
On Amazon right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Google changed how they do their cast, where they put their cast. They used to put it up top.
Jesse Plemons, that's that one dude, the Matt Damon dude. Michael C. Hall. Yeah, that's Dexter.
Oh, yeah.
That's Dexter right there, baby.
Dude, Danny Hudson is in a bunch of things, too. That guy, Michael Creighton, he's in Only Murderers in the Building.
Really?
Mhm.
He was the boyfriend at the very beginning.
Yeah.
For like 2 seconds.
He got his woman stolen.
Yeah. But I think they were friends because he's like, I'm
He's
happy for you guys.
Yeah, he's at the engagement,
Oh.
which is nice. I love the opening montage. I honestly think this movie, like the first half, is just great.
Yeah.
You might lose a little speed in like the middle, but then it picks up again.
Mm-hmm.
But that first half where, like they're introducing the characters, they're introducing game night, and all of the friends are like coming through the windows and stuff because they misread his text. But it's funny because his character's so serious and like literal that like if you got a text from him saying like sneak in through the windows, you'd be like, all right, well, or like sneak in the house. You'd probably be like, all right, he wants us to sneak in the house, and not just like quietly come in the front.
Yeah. I would probably have to clarify, but
That's what I was thinking too.
but it makes it funny.
Yeah. It was a good intro for all the characters, especially the.
Well, and the shot where there's just like I will say, it's cool like the shot with like the hand popping.
Yeah,
through
and
that.
they sort of foreshadowing like a more suspenseful feel throughout the movie.
Yeah, but I do think I noticed one thing watching this movie because I've seen it a few times now. But watching it this time, I noticed like a lot of cool shots. Like just kind of looking at it like, from every once in a while there's people that talk about like, oh, like that cinematographer is so good. Like I don't know who did this one, and I don't know much about cinematographers, but I like that's something I've been hearing more about. Is like people just talk about like specific ones and like you literally being a fan of like the dude who runs the camera of the movie, and then it's like all right, I'll watch any movie he does. You know what I mean? And like. So I wonder like who this cinematographer was because there was just some things that I'm like, that's pretty cool, and like you really just you can overlook it. One specifically was whenever they're in the bar and like the dude's knocking at the lock, and it was like
and the camera switch.
Like, oh my bad, but the second it hits, it just like and then they do that later where they're doing a car chase, and it's. The camera's focused on the car, the van is chasing it, and when the van hits it, that camera sways, and it doesn't lose focus of that car being, like that camera sways a good 5 feet to the right, like very quickly as the van
precisely
hits it. Yeah.
Dude, they did it in the intro too at one point. I forgot what the exact transition was, but I think like they were rolling a dice or something like that, and like the camera like switching, and then they're in a different year. I also love the attention to detail of like in their apartment they had a few movie posters that you could see in the house. I noticed, and I thought that was cool to like.
Like what movies?
It was like the something bunch. The
Brady Bunch?
No, it's like it's a Western movie. The Rowdy Bunch or something like that. But like you see the one poster in their apartment, and then you could see it in their house at one point, and I was like, oh, that's nice that they like kind of kept the same decorations going throughout.
Yeah.
But I thought the movie was well shot too. I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone that like worked on Ozark with him.
Yeah, and even hearing Jason Bateman, like he talks about cinematographers a lot on Smart
Yeah.
List, to where I'm thinking, like I'm wondering if like he knows like this dude was good, or like
He's probably hip.
Yeah.
It's cool. I think a lot of people like will get mistaken in being like that director is just. I mean, like obviously directors have a lot of to play, but I think what a lot of people notice is that directors work with the same people, and that directors
Barry
like,
Peterson, I'm pretty sure they have talked about this guy.
Oh, Zoolander, 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. That honestly makes a lot of sense though. Zoolander and this.
He did Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, interesting.
Jumper.
Oh, Jumper was cool. Spy Who Dumped Me.
He's done one episode of The Good Place.
Oh, the Lego Movie, uncredited. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Starsky and Hutch photography.
Dark Blue. And Zoolander.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting.
But I thought this movie was well shot and well paced. It didn't feel like it was too long. Didn't feel like it was too short. Just got right to the point.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's yeah, it was one of those ones in like the, what was it like? Yeah, this was like 2018 or something, right? Yeah, 2018.
This is something that I know I'm gonna watch, but I keep putting it off because I know it's gonna be heat.
I was just staring at that because I tell everybody at my job to watch shit, but my buddy Jarrett was just like, yo, he's never told me to watch anything. He's like, yo, you gotta watch Beef. Like, it's hilarious. And I was like, all right, I'll watch it. I was like,
it's kind of a nice moment because like it happens with Netflix shows all the time. Whatever show they push, most people be like, have you seen this? Have you seen this like news? You know what I'm saying? But it's awesome when it like hits. Yeah, it's like a good show and it's getting out there.
But I kind of, after Squid Games, I've been waiting for like a Netflix, like something that's talked about. You know what I mean? And like Kaleidoscope was the last thing and I did it.
They have their moment. Like Love It Blind has been being talked about a bunch recently.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm good on that.
But there is like this thing of like, like I don't, like Wednesday, I think would be it, if anything. You know what I mean? Like one of, because I feel like every few years they have like these ones that just like literally like they hit everyone. You know what I mean? Like they, like Stranger Things was one of them. You know what I mean? Ozark is one of them too. You know what I mean? Orange is the New Black back in the day was like one of the first ones, along with like House of Cards. But it just like, it hits everyone like really quick. You know what I mean? And I do
it fades away.
Like I never even heard of Love is Blind.
Yeah.
That's a reality show, though, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's like they have to agree to get married before they see each other.
But yeah, I have heard about that, but that also is a reality show, so that already like eliminates like half of a demographic right there anyway, because there's just people that are just not willing to watch reality shows or something, But I don't know, and Beef, I don't know if it's like. I'm not saying Beef is one that's like transcending all that either.
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I know I've heard it's got good reviews.
Yeah, it's just one of those solid Netflix that like is talked about, but it's
what they should be doing more often.
Yeah,
haven't been, dude. I know we've talked about it before, but this is an expansion on that idea we've talked about before. I think Netflix has dropped the ball in not getting a cable TV show, not even on their streaming service, like a legitimate like channel, whatever, 55. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the same way Comedy Central has a show, and like
you mean their own channel?
Yeah. Because like all of these channels have made streaming services. Just think about how good it would have been for their business to have that just be their free service. You could have ads on it like a normal TV show. And I know how stupid it sounds to like reinvent TV to go back to it, but like I don't know. I feel like they're missing out on like.
Yeah, I mean,
it'd be like a free trial for like you'd show them like one episode of something, and you just have to go to subscribe to Netflix to watch the rest of it or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, like how much extra work would it be to maintain a channel? You already have the content. Like what is that?
You just need to build relationships with advertisers, and then you got yourself a.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that that's like more or less like. I don't know if the show the shows probably do have to handle their, but it's not like it's like when you're watching a channel like. it's the same commercials every. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean-
but it's throughout other channels too. You're gonna see the same commercials in rotation to where I'm like, I'm not even sure if like they're in charge. Like it's just a rotate. Like this is what TV's getting
Yeah.
for this. These are the advertisements that are coming out.
Well, not only that, it's like if you turn on Comedy Central, it's not like they're turning out new content every freaking hour. It's mostly likely you're gonna turn it on and it's Seinfeld, The Office, South Park.
Seinfeld and The Office is on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But like you know what I'm saying, like those are hour blocks that are out where they could just be thrown in.
Yeah.
Whatever
MTV
show
is
they
just
could,
ridiculous.
They could
right?
just be yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? They could be showing Love Is Blind for days on end, and like that would be Netflix's TV show. Not that it would bring in the ton of things, but like I said, it just seems like such a minimal business move that would have really helped them.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Because I mean, like HBO has their show, their channels. Showtime has their channels.
Yeah.
But maybe they got boxed out by big cable. Who knows? I don't
You
know any of these
see,
rules.
wait, should we rate the movie?
Yeah, let's rate the movie.
Let's rate the movie before we do our final discussions. Yeah, I mean, I kind of said earlier, I got to knock 2 points off of it just for that. I mean, but I'd give it like a 7.5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna give it an 8.
you gonna give it an 8?
Yeah, it's solid, good story, not life changing. You know, it doesn't make me at the end of it reevaluate my views on love and relationships and family values, but you know, maybe I learned to appreciate friends. You know,
And I just miss these types of movies.
I do too.
You know,
that's why I picked it.
It feel like COVID really did kind of hurt these movies the most.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like so much at stakes for movies to like be a big thing and to sell a bunch of tickets and to have their twist that they can like bring people in. You know, like look at the last, even right now, like the big movies that are out is like Air, and that's like based on Nike, or Dungeons and Dragons, and that's based on Dungeons and Dragons, or Mario, and that's based on Mario.
It's kind of funny. It's like it's interesting, and it's like also like hearing how like like a smaller theater works. It's like funny to think like and even Esquire, right? Like I go to Esquire and like they don't have a lot of theaters, so it's very interesting to see what stays.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and what comes in for their week.
Right out.
A lot of movies come in and then just leave the next, within 2 weeks, know, and then it's on digital, and it's just Ant-Man still, you know what I mean, at the theater, and Creed 3, you know what I mean, and Creed 3 didn't even last as long as I think it should have, and maybe. Oh my God,
maybe that's the same thing to say about Ant-Man.
Yeah, damn. You hear he's getting rode out of Moon Knight?
What?
Yeah, Kane's getting rode out of Moon Knight.
Dang.
And then there's also a bunch of articles that have been circulating that say, here's 3 villains bigger than Kane that are already in the MCU.
Dr. Doom. Did you see that who got casted in Blade though?
No.
Pearl X girl.
Mia is in Blade?
Yeah.
I saw that she was in the MCU. I didn't know it was Blade.
She'd make a great vampire.
But
or vampire hunter.
No, I'm not gonna lie though. I was so disappointed when I saw that she was casted in the MCU because I didn't know that, and I'm like, what are they gonna do? And she would make a great vampire. Will MCU make her a great vampire though?
We'll see.
I'm not gonna doubt Blade. I want Blade so bad. I don't want to have any doubt for Blade, but
feels like trouble over MCU headquarters. But also, it feels like they're shaking shit up.
Yeah, I mean,
this is definitely the first time that maybe not the first time, but it definitely seems that this is one of the few times that they've noticed trends and they're trying to switch it up to adjust to them to make better movies again.
Yeah.
Or better stuff again. But we'll see what happens.
It's funny, they took away the shows, and it's like I think right, like after the Secret Invasion trailer dropped, like I haven't seen that either yet, but like people are like talking about like, yo, this looks good. You know what I mean? Like
it does. Secret Invasion looks good.
Yeah, people are like, yo, this kind of looks like this is like what we missed from Marvel. This kind of feeling too. You know what I mean? And then like Loki season 2 is about to Loki season 2 is gonna be good.
Hopefully,
I'll
be excited for it either way.
Yeah, but I think it's gonna be good. Like I don't. Yeah. I'm not too worried about Loki being bad. But
yeah, I'm Loki.
If Loki's bad, then I'm really losing faith in Marvel.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like. And I'm looking over there, and they can't see what I'm looking at. But Guardians is like And it's gonna be great. I know it, but like, it's hard to like.
You're a little
it'll-
nervous.
Not that I'm nervous. I'm just like nervous for the MCU after it.
I get that. Yeah, I don't think James Gunn can fuck this up. I just hope and the Marvel didn't fuck it up. You know what I mean? Because he also had to rewrite. He's also said that too. Like he's like, yo, this isn't what I wanted to do for Guardians 3. Like
Yeah.
this is what I had to do after. You know, like I think that might like I hope that's not important as I think it may be.
I
you
think
know?
he maybe just means that like he made it more of an end than it
Yeah.
was gonna be. But I mean, a lot of people have said really good things about it so far,
So it's
and a lot of people have gotten emotional. That's all I want to get.
yeah.
But I just think a lot of Marvel hasn't learned like what made Guardians successful.
Yeah.
And that's notes that they could take on in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
But I do think there is something to go back to what we were talking about. It is kind of sad in a way how like long Marvel movies and like big blockbusters like Maverick will stick around in theaters. And not that they don't deserve to stick around.
Yeah, sometimes they
like-
do, but Ant-Man didn't.
Sometimes they like push
Thor
out a movie
didn't.
before it even gets a chance to like really pop off.
Yeah.
Even it happened with Everything Everywhere. Like Everything Everywhere got out of theaters.
Yeah, it
Quick
had
and
to-
had to get brought back like
Yeah.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, he got brought back because it was
And
so
then there are
big.
movies that get brought back and don't deserve it, and then fail even worse the second time. Shut up,
Yeah.
Morbius.
Did you hear?
Morbius too.
No, did you hear that all the Spider-Mans, Morbius and Venom, and a few other things are now declared MCU?
Really?
They're in the MCU multiverse.
Interesting. Yeah, they're taking notes from James on that one.
Yeah, they're including them now.
That's interesting. That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. I like that. Like the DC EU or whatever extended universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. I like that. I think that's an important move for them to have made, and it like makes logical sense. This is like what the multiverse should have introduced the whole time,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like multiple worlds and not just like
Yeah.
being so focused on one timeline.
Yeah.
But I mean, I am excited for the Marvels in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
excited for it, and I haven't seen the little teaser, but like, I know when it comes out, I'm gonna go see it, and I'm gonna probably like it. Like, I kind of am, I don't feel like they're gonna fuck that one up. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know. Like,
It
who
is. It
knows?
is some.
I didn't think Quantumania would be as bad as it was.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
It is kind of funny though, because like, like we're Marvel fans, and like we're mostly in a Marvel bubble. Like most of our friends like Marvel, but I like was recently talking to some people who don't like Marvel at all, and they were like, I just don't even get like when people say like if like compare things to Infinity War, I like don't get that reference because I just don't get the hype on Infinity War, and like I feel like the recent Marvel decline has like opened the door for some people to make some like sucker punch Marvel comments that they've been waiting to make, and I'm like, wait. I can trash Marvel because I love Marvel, but you just sound like you're hating, and I gotta stop you there.
yeah, that's funny.
But what were you gonna say?
Nothing. I was gonna say,
Oh yeah,
I think we should maybe wait till 102. Now we'll just do it at the start of 102.
we got a big surprise, but you're gonna have to wait for the next week.
Yeah.
Super hype, get hype.
Just a little giveaway. So if you're here and you're listening and you want to earn something, well, we got a little giveaway next week.
Yep. Yep, and we have a consolation prize too.
Yeah.
That could be the bonus episode.
Yeah. Where are we? Okay. But yeah, that's funny that like you won't let other people hate on Marvel, but
I can hate on them though.
and you'll let me hate on them because
Yeah.
I flipped.
Well, there's a difference. It's like a love hate. Like you're mad because you love it so much,
Yeah.
versus like you're cheering because it's fun. You know what I mean? Because there is great moments in Marvel. I honestly, it's one of a kind cinema history type thing. The run up to Endgame.
Yeah. Nothing like it. Nothing maybe ever will be like it too. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. It's gonna take a lot to do something like that.
And there is something to be said about these big movies that bring people to the movie theaters because
Yeah, Endgame was one of the best moments of like my life. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I saw that alone, and like I felt like I was surrounded by like you know what I mean?
people
Like,
you've been friends with your whole life. You know?
Yeah, like it was like a thing where it's like like whoever you sat next to, like you were like. You guys were like,
Yeah.
hype, together, and people were talking. You know what I mean? You don't just talk to people in theaters like
Dude, I remember the
At any
silence
movie.
after Infinity War. You
God,
know what I
yeah.
mean?
I remember
and people
sit-
being like, "Is this real?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. God.
But you
I
know, like,
forgot about that.
yeah, and that was the same. It felt like that kind of seeing Maverick too in a way, where it was just like cool to see people out liking movies.
Yeah.
I just wish like people, and I'm starting to see it more and more. I wish people just took more chances on movies,
Yeah.
and I think this year's been a great example
Yeah,
of that.
no,
'cause, like,
exactly. Because we had Barbarian, even
Megan.
Mario, like, yeah, Megan.
Megan, Cocaine Bear, like all
Yeah.
these were like random movies that just brought people out that didn't exactly have like a huge IP or build up to.
Yes, I mean, say what you want, but Don't Worry, Darling stirred up the movie. Stirred it up too.
That's true. That brought back some like old school like 90s celebrity gossip drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the documentary on that movie so bad. So bad.
God, that would imagine if that went to theaters.
Yes. I mean, I would love that. I'm itching. I hope that all of the cast and crew have their iPhone footage still. I'll cut it all together. I'll make a good
I wonder if that
documentary.
like Blu-ray is out. It's got to be out. Yeah, it has.
It has to be out at this point.
I wonder if there's like anything like any cool
Bonus features?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure the internet would let us know if there are.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah, and I'm sure Olivia Wilde didn't let anything too
True.
crazy go out.
True.
Oh yeah, we already talked about her saying.
We did.
Yeah.
Oh, celebrities.
Yeah.
Did you ever end up watching that Tyler
Nope. I
doc
haven't.
thing?
No, but I will now since you said the first half kind of focuses on Odd Future.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting. It's an interesting point of it.
Yeah, and I think they do the best job explaining why people connected with Odd Future, while also like admitting that that era was like a little bit cringy in some ways.
Yeah.
But it's also cool. There's like a
Yeah.
line. Tyler's like, "We got famous off of our rough drafts," and I was like, "Damn."
Well,
they kinda
people are
did.
still doing that too. That's a funny thing. Like,
Yeah.
I
just like
don't know.
going for it and making
Yeah.
colorful random shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out though.
Bro, I'm just 10 minutes. 10 minutes until the world changes.
Yeah. Let's see.
We'll see.
Let's see.
I'm either right or wrong, and you'll know on Monday.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
That's when the episode comes out.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. We'll know tonight.
Yeah.
And you'll know by my tweet, because it'll either be deleted or it'll be quote tweeted by me say I was right. You guys were
You gonna
wrong.
delete it? You gonna make me have to delete my tweet too?
No, I won't delete it. I'll probably respond to Tyler, though.
Who's letting their fucking car go off? God damn it.
It's not me, is it?
Oh no.
Oh, no. It's not.
But all right, Stevie. Anything else?
Nah, I think I'm going to, like, the pod's going to end. I'm going to have, like, 8 things that I forgot to bring up. But
One last thing.
one last thing.
You
What
see the
is it?
casting of Maxine?
Yes.
Hella
I did.
people in that.
So many people. I was like,
Hella
whoa.
people. Halsey at the end of it too.
Yeah, I think they were just like, all right, well, we did the low budget thing. Now let's see what we can do with the budget.
It makes me excited to see. It's like there's too many people in this for this, like, and then just thinking of like how he's how he's worked those 2 movies already. Like
It would be awesome, and I can't undersell this enough that if at 5-10 years from now, if Maxine ends up being the one that's the classic. Do you know
It
what I mean?
might
Like
be,
it's
like-
the one that like people go back to the most. That would be so cool to me.
it might be.
Because like so often with trilogies and stuff like that, like they sort of lose their thunder.
Yeah.
But it feels like in this case, they're like they don't even really. I don't know. They're still like the lightning's still in the bottle.
Yeah, it's like it is the coolest trilogy ever, just because like it doesn't really exist as a trilogy either.
Yeah, and
You
it
know what I
wasn't
mean?
made for the same reason that most trilogies are made.
Yeah.
Which is just like, turning in the money. This was like, I don't know. They were like, I don't even understand why it was made into a trilogy. Like
Yeah.
it just was out of pure art and storytelling.
They made the first one, they made the first one in like 2 weeks in Australia, and then they like, all right, we're like, they just, him and Mia Goth kind of had an idea for Pearl, and then they spent 2 weeks writing it, and then they went back to film again at the same spot. And,
It's lit.
and that's, that's a good 2 months of just, them just vibing.
Exactly. 2 classics come out of it too.
Yeah. And just think of the casting throughout it all. Too. I mean, Pearl didn't have much, but you got Kid Cudi and Brittany Snow and Jenna Ortega in the first one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then now this one got Juan Carlo. You know, like
Huge
you
cast.
got Halsey. You got the couple of cop dudes. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I forget. I don't know who the other, but I know a lot of people were hyped like on some of the other people too. And,
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
But good pod. Thank you guys for listening.
Oh yeah.
You can follow us at movieclub.com. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
Bad
we're on
Stevie.
YouTube.
Bad
we're
Stevie.
on.
Bad boy.
I'm sorry.
I've been talking to people like dogs lately, and it's kind of messed up. Ian left the other day, and I was like, "Bye, buddy." And I was like literally looking at the dog, and I was saying it to the dog, but I was just like, "Bye, buddy."
Sit.
But yeah.
Come on, buddy. Let's go.
No. Maybe Banana will pop up on the next episode. Banana was sleeping. Thought Banana would at least come over and say hi, but
He started to walk over at one point, got
Yeah.
most of the way to where the camera was, and then
went to the bed, laid
realized
down.
there was nowhere to lay down.
Yeah.
Maybe
So-
we'll like make a little bed,
Yeah.
a banana bed.
Banana bed.
Banana
Where he
bed
can make
for the
banana bread.
Yeah, nice. Oh,
But yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
Thanks for all listening. Thank you,
Yeah.
Stevie.
Thank you, Corey.
It's been a good one.
Good as
Until
always.
next time.
What do you mean by that?
Give me a fucking break, buddy.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
Also, play Owlboy.